When the 2018 draft was held last summer, there was lots of intrigue over the players, the order they were picked, and the deals that were made. Early on, it seemed the Mavericks completely stuffed the Hawks and mounted them on their wall by trading Trae Young and a first-round pick for Luka Doncic. But guess what? That little point guard from Oklahoma has put together a serious stretch of games that had started to eclipse some of Luka's accomplishments, and what we have here is a real race for the Rookie of the Year award. When the season started, the haters came out with all their I told you so's. Young is too small, he's too frail, he can't get his shot off, he can't finish at the rim. And to some extent, they were right. He couldn't get comfortable with all the big bodies, amazing athleticism, and overall speed of the game. And this was to be expected. After all, he was only 20 years old and 1 year removed from playing in high school games. But as the season wore on and he got more and more minutes on the floor against NBA teams, we started to see some of the same types of plays he made in college. The kind that got so many GMs excited and willing to draft him so high in the lottery. Just look at his stats the last 16 games. Over 25 points, more than 9 assists, 4 rebounds, and a lethal 43.4% from downtown. When he's off the court, the offensive rating takes a 9-point hit, since his dynamic playmaking and Death Star gravity helps make their offense go. In the last 16 games, the Hawks' offensive rating with Young on the floor would rank 5th overall. While the deep shooting tends to get a lot of the attention, it's his vision and passing that really make him stand out as an offensive player. His ball handling ability allows him to get the ball off the bounce and quickly into a pass in any manner of one-handed, two-handed, hook pass, lob, you name it. Young can complete it. Despite his height, he has the innate sense of where his teammates are, and this always seems to happen when a great passer is on the floor. His teammates will cut more, knowing if they get open, they're going to receive the pass. The Hawks' offense looks very similar to the Spurs and the Sixers, since head coach Lloyd Pierce was Brett Brown's assistant in Philly for 5 years. Lots of space and player movement, and all manner of dribble handoffs and pick and rolls. Trae Young is among the league leaders in distance traveled on offense for a reason, as he never stops looking for an opening. Watch how the Hawks offense seems to stall out here, but a quick flow into a handoff, and the weak side shooters instantly spread along the three-point line waiting. The defense over-rotates, and he's finding the pass to the open shooter in the corner. Young gets a ton of double ball screens across the top, and it serves to free him up but also open up all the space around the basket. A little pin down here finds the quick pass back top for a 3-ball and another assist. But not to be overlooked is the timing of his passes. He has the knack for knowing exactly when to throw it so the receiver doesn't have to do anything but catch it clean and put it in. His accuracy on lobs is spot on, and it's really helped to get teammate John Collins some serious highlights as Young puts the ball on the money at the right instant multiple times a game. He's also great at getting up in the air and then still finding cutters for baskets. While many coaches would say this is a bad idea, what Young understands is that the threat of his shot when he's in the air is just another fundamental way to getting teammates open by alluring the defense to challenge him. Another example of his IQ and willingness to break the mold of traditional outdated fundamentals is his penchant for nutmegging defenders. That's right, bounce passes between their legs, right to teammates who can find a good shot. In fact, he did this to LeBron not once, but twice in the same game, and this is just something you don't do against the king. The audacity, people. He's got this incredible lefty hook pass across court, the kind we used to see Steph throw a lot, and it's just another devastating skill that gets his teammates open three-pointers on the weak side and helps Trae rack up those assists. To have mastery of these types of skills so early in a career means as long as he stays healthy, he's going to make a run at the top 5 career assists list. Now let's look at his driving, since this is the place he struggled the most, but still displays signs of immense skill just waiting to be more consistent. The floater is a staple of his drives, as it's the best way to get it off against the bigger defenders and big men help that come his way. Most of his floaters are shot off 2 feet for better balance and explosion into a quick release. But even the ones he shoots with a split step, notice how he likes to drag the trail foot along the ground, basically making it into a 2-foot jump for added stability. And with his ball manipulation skills, as well as his ability to change cadence with his footwork, he will continue to torture big men time and again as he gets into the lane with the threat of a pass to a cutter, another level of pressure on the defender. And I expect to see a lot more embarrassed big men turn and walk down to the other end of the court with their heads down in shame. Trae Young didn't suddenly materialize on this planet fully formed with all this incredible skill. It took countless hours of work to be this good, and it's the kind of training you'll get by attending point guard college. With their intelligent approach to teaching the game, you'll learn what it truly takes to become great. With camps in over 30 states and Canada, PGC will unlock your true potential and transform you into the best player you can be. If you aspire to being a playmaker like Trae Young, there is no better environment than PGC. Now let's get to the fun stuff, the 3-point shots. And when I say 3-point shots, I'm not talking about getting the toes in the line. I'm talking about long distance bombing. And it made sense to me that he'd need an adjustment period to start the season where he struggled, but now that he's gotten dialed in, he's rapidly turning into the kind of player that Steph is, with the kind of gravity that pulls the entire defense towards him the second he crosses half court. For if you haven't picked him up early enough, he has no problem pulling up early off the bounce from 30 feet and splashing it in your eye. You can see his releases low, in front of his face, a lot like Steph, and this not only makes it quicker out of his hand, but also allows for much deeper range as he can transfer the energy from his legs through his arms much more efficiently. There is plenty of offhand thumb influence as well, which helps with energy transfer, and the in-air turn allows for his body to find proper alignment while being relaxed and fluid in his mechanics. And he is able to explore plenty of different angles on the arc, which is imperative when having to get shots off like this under pressure. A great many of his threes end up having arc closer to 50 degrees or more, and it's a testament to his great mechanics and rhythm that he can control balls that get launched into the stratosphere. In the pick and roll, you simply cannot go underneath. Even if you think you've hedged him out too far, his range extends at least 7 feet behind the line. And notice how he can vary his footwork. This bomb is taken going to his right, but it utilizes a right-left 1-2. Non-traditional, but I think might be better in order to anchor the shooting side foot first in order to get proper alignment early. If Trae Young can keep up what he's doing the last 15 games for the remaining 20, he'll force the Rookie of the Year voters to reassess what was clearly Doncic's award halfway through the season. The Hawks haven't won many games, but they're happy increasing their odds for the #1 pick. Plus, it looks like they'll get the Mavericks' first-round pick as well, somewhere between 9th and 12th. You add some more elite talent to this core of Young, John Collins, Taurean Prince, DeAndre Bembry, and Kevin Huerter, and the Hawks will have a really good team led by a guy who is following in Steph Curry's footsteps at an even earlier age. And if that's the case, we're going to see him representing the team from Atlanta in a lot of All-Star games at the very least, and maybe even hoisting a trophy in the NBA Finals. Oh, hey, good to see everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you made it this far, then I've got something really special for you. A free video that you can only get by clicking on the link below. It'll break down my 3 favorite actions, and I guarantee you'll love it. So what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side of that link. Don't forget to subscribe to BBallBreakdown and adjust your settings so you'll get notified right away. You in?